Why can't we get the job done against teams like the Nationals? Are we playing down to our competition?
Yes, that someone put a stat up on Twitter that the Yankees are really good against teams above 500, which is good because that's who you see in the playoffs. But they're also barely above 500 against teams who are not above 500.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsulias. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks, the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Go to prizepicks.com/LockedOnMLB and use code all lowercase LockedOnMLB for a first deposit match up to $100. With me, as usual, my co-host, Brian McKeon. Well, should we say as usual? Because this has been a weird week. You've been alone. I've been alone.
I missed too. But what a week. I was in the great desert of Las Vegas watching the Yankees lose 2 out of 3 to the Washington Nationals. Very aggravating. I'm sure we'll get into it. But I haven't seen you since last week. So how are you doing?
Great. 50's starting off great.
Have they won a game since you turned 50?
Technically not, because I'm one of those pedantic people who I turned 50 at 10:50 p.m. on Monday, August 26th, because that's when I was born. The Yankees won that game on Monday night before 10:50 p.m. So since 10:50 p.m. on Monday, no, they have not won a game. So I am winless in my 50s so far. How dare you? Before we get started, don't forget, subscribe to the podcast on whichever podcasting platform you prefer. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, like the video, hit the bell so you're notified whenever our videos go live. Coming up on today's show, previewing the weekend series against the Cardinals. And just so you all know, I am going to a game for my birthday. Maybe the Yankees, maybe the Yankees will win that one. We'll see. But first, it's Fanmail Friday. We do it every week. If you're a regular, you know. If you're a newbie, every week we do Fanmail Friday. We ask our viewers and listeners for questions. We answer them. So basically, you guys produce the show. It's a lot of fun. And as per tradition, our first question comes from Betty. Why are neither Rice nor Cabrera playing over DJ? I know he's a great guy, but I feel like he's done. Frustration overload series after series, and we're running out of time.
Betty, as always, thank you. I'd say this, Stacey. Is there really a benefit in playing these two over DJ? Like, it's not like Rice is necessarily hit in the last month and a half, 2 months either. I mean,
but you also can't start hitting if you're not playing consistently. And if they keep playing, like, why is he even here? Like, they're wasting his time. Put him down in AAA.
I think the only thing I agree with that. Put him in AAA. The only thing Ben Rice right now is going to give you that DJ is not going to give you is the potential for Ben Rice to run into one. And DJ doesn't have that anymore. There's no power in his bat. Ben Rice could run into one. Do I see him doing that? No. He's hitting like 170 in the last 2 months. I do get the point of no consistent play. Here's the problem. They need Cabrera to rotate all around the infield, which is what he's been doing. So they don't really have a spot for him at first base. The one position he really doesn't exceed at is first base. So there's really not a place to put him there. And again, Ben Rice is not much of an upgrade over DJ at this point. He's not. Whether that's because of consistent play time or not, still not an upgrade. So the move, DJ has to go at this point. And I feel bad saying that, but you're the New York Yankees. You can afford to eat the $30 million left on his contract. He's an automatic zero at this point. He can't hit. It's sad to say because he's a former batting champion, but there's not much you can do about this. And I'm sorry, a winning baseball team does not have a player like this in their lineup.
No. And, Boone seemed to have learned his lesson on Wednesday night when he pinch hit for him, but that should have been done on Tuesday night as well. Because what happened on Tuesday night? He popped out to foul territory. What a great at-bat in the 9th inning. Fabulous.
Yeah, and then you had that bat in the 6th inning of the game on Wednesday where, he had runners on 1st and 3rd and really a chance to break the game open and a lazy ground ball. Like, he should have been playing regardless, right? So, like, we could talk about the pinch hit appearances and whether someone should have been pinch hitting. That's totally fine. But, Stacey, he should have been playing to begin with. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me is every day when the lineup comes out, he seems to have an automatic bid in the lineup, and it's, what are we doing? You know what I mean? It's getting frustrating.
Yeah.
Let's go to Adam Cole. Why can't we get the job done against teams like the Nationals? Are we playing down to our competition?
Yes, someone put a stat up on Twitter that the Yankees are really good against teams above 500, which is good because that's who you see in the playoffs. But they're also barely above 500 against teams who are not above 500.
Yeah,
it's almost similar to how the home and road records are, where they're really good on the road and they're okay at home, but you would think it would be flip-flopped. And they're doing the same thing with, they're playing down to bad teams. Now, they won 2 out of 3 against the Rockies. They won 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. They should have won 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. Again, you don't expect sweeps. It's not that easy to sweep a series. But when you're playing teams that are not
Subpar.
good,
Not
you need to win the series. You can't lose 2 out of 3 to the Nationals. I don't care how fast they are. I don't care how young they are. The Yankees embarrassed themselves on Tuesday night with all those errors and looking sloppy and just not being able to do anything. And I said it on Thursday's live stream, and I said it before. Sometimes you look at the lineup and you just think to yourself,
what?
Like, you don't even want to watch the game because you kind of envision, yeah, they're not winning this, even with this lineup, because if you keep sticking the corpse of DJ LeMahieu in the lineup, you keep putting Alex Verdugo into the lineup. What do you expect? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Like, what are you expecting here, Boone?
A common theme with the Yankees this year is not being able to win games against bad teams. Little bit of a programming note, Stacey. I did an appearance on SNY earlier today with Dexter Henry on his New York Post show. It'll be all over social media. You guys can find it there. Your support supports the show, so it'd be really wonderful if you guys could support that. But they asked me at the end of the segment what the Yankees need to, like, what do you think is going to happen in the Cardinals series? And my answer was, truly, I have no idea, because they don't beat bad teams. They beat good teams, and the Cardinals are the most mid team of all time.
Right.
They're the most average team of all time. So I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe it's going to be the most fun baseball series of all time. I don't think the Yankees are going to know what to do with themselves. So, right. It is a very tricky scenario. I do hear your point, and I this has been reiterated a lot by a lot of people that, are supporting the team is, oh, well, if they beat the good teams, that's a good thing. It's going to prepare them more for the postseason. While I hear you, the teams that win in the postseason are also the ones that take care of business when they play the bad teams.
That's what I said on the show. I said, it's good that they're beating the good teams, but good teams beat everyone.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know how I feel about playing, the playing down to your competition thing. It doesn't give me a lot of confidence, but I mean, it's the same thing as, Carlos Rodon, Nestor Cortez, who have followed that theme all year, right? The Yankees play better on the road, but those two pitchers pitch better at home.
Right.
It's weird. I don't know why, but it really is the truth.
All right. Next, David F. Stace and Brian, as longtime Yankee fans, what stadium is your favorite to see a Yankees game outside of Yankee Stadium? Also, just finishing The Yankee Way. Did you guys read it? Thanks, David. Let's see. I've only seen the Yankees play at Shea other than Yankee Stadium. I don't go to other stadiums to see the Yankees play. I haven't done that yet.
Does he mean just any other regular outside stadium, or a stadium specifically to see the Yankees playing? Because what's the difference? I mean, if you're going to a game, you're going to a game, right?
What stadium is your favorite to see a Yankees game outside of Yankee Stadium?
I mean,
so, like, if
I've only seen Yankees play in several places besides Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
I'll say the coolest place I saw the Yankees play outside of Yankee Stadium was last year. I went to St. Louis. That was a fun experience to see them play a team they don't usually play, a ballpark. You don't see the Yankees playing Busch Stadium too often.
Right.
Now you will more often, but really you don't see it too often. But I've seen a game at Wrigley. That's an awesome place to watch a game. Milwaukee, I love. I've seen the Yankees play, I think, only in St. Louis, Tampa Bay, Citi Field, Boston, and Yankee Stadium. Baltimore too. And the one I would not recommend highly is Tampa.
Ugh.
Unless you want a good seat. Don't
get me started. I have not read The Yankee Way. I have not read a lot of books lately. My ADHD is so bad that I would have to. This is how I read books. I get the Kindle version, and I also get the audiobook version, so I can read it and hear it, so my brain will comprehend what I'm reading, because This has been an issue since I was a kid. And when I discovered I could do both of those things, it made reading so much easier for me. So if I can do the audio and Kindle version of the Yankee Way, I might do that. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. We're running out of time for segment 1. We're going to move 2 of the insider questions to segment 2. Before we do that, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notification so you know when those videos go up. If you would like to be part of Fanmail Friday for next week, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday. You can ask us anything, baseball related, Yankees related, personal, but not too personal. Or you can join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club, where you get top priority and you're in segment 1 or 2, depending on how many questions there are. There's a link in the description. You get texts from us. You can text us questions, reactions to the games. I have conversations with people. We'll give you injury updates, roster moves, and more. There's a 14-day free trial. Coming up next, more Fan Mail Friday. It's summer, and we all need to keep cool and stay hydrated. So when you're taking in America's pastime, don't forget to hydrate with Liquid IV's Popsicle Firecracker flavor, a surefire summer hit. Get hydrated with electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients from the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, because baseball and summer go together like Liquid IV and indulgent hydration. Blast off with the iconic summer flavor of Popsicle Firecracker, a festive blend of citrus-fueled lemon lime, tart cherry, and raspberry flavors. It's actually really good. I had it earlier today, just so you know. You can find all your favorite flavors on the website. They have lemon lime, they have pina colada, they have tropical punch. That's also a fun flavor. Tear, pour, live more. 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. It also has 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink and 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. No more thirsty summers when you indulge in hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use promo code MLB at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code MLB at liquidiv.com. And Locked On Yankees is also sponsored by SupplyHouse. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business, and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trademaster program. Every Trademaster gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM, which stands for Trademaster. You can order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. Welcome back, and thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. For your second listen, enjoy the Locked On MLB podcast. Host Paul Sullivan, aka Sully, is here daily to provide national expertise with his trademark humor to help you get ready for the MLB playoffs, which are just over a month away. Crazy to think about. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day on Locked On MLB. Available on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Don't forget, you can watch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Okay, so like I said, we have 2 more insider questions. We're going to start segment 2 off with them. The first one from Eric S. Is Cashman such a captive of the metrics approach to baseball that the only way to get a more balanced approach is to fire him?
I don't think that's going to work or happen. I don't think he's too captive to the metrics, to be quite honest with you. I think the people that he surrounds himself are. I think the people that he uses to help assist him with creating a team nowadays are the ones who are obsessed with the metrics. I don't think it's necessarily a full Cashman thing. Right. I think he's intentionally surrounded himself by those people, but I don't think it's a full Cashman thing of being obsessed with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Let's go to Shalid. He's got a long one. I'll read this one. Fanmail Friday. Do you think the Yankees front office cares about winning? It frustrates me watching the Yankees lose. I spend so much time watching these games and spend money going to them. I see so many people at the games. They can't all be real baseball fans. I see people in the other states that wear Yankee gear that don't watch baseball. When I ask them that, they say it's a style. The Yankees have to be the most well-known baseball team. What do you think will change this mindset? I almost want to boycott the games.
Well, but the Yankees have always been a brand because my cousin,
lots to unpack here.
Like my cousin used to go to Europe and sell Yankee hats, and she made a killing because people always wanted Yankee hats. And this was like in the late 90s, early 2000s. You know,
it's the same as the
Europe
Lakers.
People in Europe don't know anything about baseball. They didn't back then. Now they're starting to get into it. But back then, 25 years ago, they didn't care about baseball, but they wore Yankee hats.
The Lakers, the Cowboys, the Real Madrid, Manchester United. It's a brand that people are obsessed with. It really, I mean, we see people here all the time wearing Manchester United stuff in New York. Do you think they watch a lot of European soccer? Probably not. So, you know, it is a style. I agree with you. I would not think that it's necessary to. It's been a style for 100 years, Shalid. So I don't think it's necessary to start boycotting now. It was also a style in the late 90s. Was anyone boycotting because of that back then? You know, the interlocking NY symbol kind of is a symbol of New York, not just the Yankees. I will say too, I do think there's a care about winning, right? Like I can't sit here and constantly hear Hal Steinbrenner doesn't care about winning. He does care about winning. He just cares about it at his own expense, not compared to his father, who is obsessed with it. It's a different mindset. I think in an ideal world, Hal Steinbrenner wins by spending the money at an economic rate, not by winning at spending at whatever rate it takes. His father was whatever way it took. And I think Yankee fans have become sensitized to just winning at all costs, and no other team operates that way anymore. So to say that they don't care about winning is a little strong in my opinion, but it's just operated a different way than you're used to.
Well, I wouldn't say there's no team. I mean, the Dodgers are trying to do everything to win, but they're basically the only one.
But also to that point, Stacey, they're doing everything, spending all this money, everything like that, right? How many titles they have in this run? One.
Right. But I mean, this particular offseason with all the deferred stuff and all the different trades that they made, if they don't win this year, and are they pulling away? No, I mentioned this also on Thursday's live stream. All the top teams in baseball are within games of each other. There is no clear, great team this year.
You're going to have one of the better, most exciting postseasons in years now. This year.
Like
you really are.
There's going to be no 100-game winner unless someone goes on a complete tear in September and don't lose any games. But that's probably not going to happen. And I don't know. It's just it's a weird baseball season, all told. I
think it's going to be a great postseason. That's why I think teams that have been bad all year have a real shot. Like this is the year the Padres actually have a chance because they can beat anybody. You know, this is the year that the Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Royals, all these teams are alive. They like any team that gets in. That's why I was making the point the other day. If you're a Mets fan, you should be hoping like hell the Mets get in. Because, I mean, this is the year any team can make a run. This is the year that any of these teams can actually make noise in the postseason. So you got to sit there and, you know, if you're a Yankee fan too, like this to me, since 2017, when, you know, it was unexpected, I think this is the best chance the Yankees have had to win a pennant.
Yeah.
I really do. Let's go to John Baez, 7835. Stacey, he says, do you remember your first walk-off win at the stadium? Mine was a walk-off home run by Bubba Crosby. Wow, against the Orioles. Cheng-Ming Wang was pitching for the Yankees.
I have a friend who was at that game. It was his first Yankee game because he moved here from Michigan, and he went to the stadium, and that was the exact game. I know what game you're talking about, and that's the exact game that my friend was at, and that was his first walk-off. That's funny. I don't remember my first walk-off.
Neither do I.
I really don't because I started going to the games in the 80s, and not to brag, but we went to a lot. I mean, we went to a lot of games because there were times we were coming home from our cousin's house on Long Island, and my dad would be on the Cross Bronx, and my dad would be like, "Want to go to the Yankee game?" And we'd be like, "All right." And we'd just turn down Jerome Avenue and go to the Yankee game on a whim. Like there were so many games that I went to. I remember my first playoff walk-off, which was Jose Vizcaíno against the Mets in 2000. I know of a walk-off I should have been at September 18th, 1993. The Yankees were playing the Red Sox. They were down 3-1 in the bottom of the ninth. Mike Stanley pops out for the third out, but a fan ran on the field and they made it a dead play. And then the Yankees started hitting, and Dom Mattingly hit a walk-off single. They ended up winning the game 4-3. Boston was not happy about that. Yes, Boston was not happy about that at all because it should have been game over, but they allowed Stanley. It was like a pop fly into foul territory, and they waved it off, and then he got a single, and then they pinch ran for him because, he was a catcher and didn't really run fast. And yeah, they ended up winning that game 4-3. So I know I was supposed to be at that one, but my brother and my father were at that game instead.
I've been to some really good ones. I don't remember my first one though. That's a really good question. I'd have to really do some digging to figure it out. I don't remember mine at all.
Yeah, it's hard too because, like I said, I've been to
I haven't been to a playoff one. I've been to a lot of playoff games. I have not been to a playoff walk-off yet.
The Vizcaíno one, Soriano in 2001 against the Mariners, Jeter against the Diamondbacks. Matsui against the Twins in 2004 in the division series. I was at that game. The walk-off against the Angels in 2009, game 2. Yeah, I've seen a few. Yeah. That's wow. Okay. I've seen some cool stuff, man. Thank you for that question, John. These are YouTube questions, by the way. You notice that when you look on the screen. Mm-hmm. Next up, Vincent M. Durham, 1695. Do you all think Aaron Judge will win the AL MVP and Triple Crown? Really enjoying the podcast. Keep up the great work, Stacey and Brian. AL MVP, yes. Triple Crown, probably not.
There's no chance he doesn't win the AL MVP. I've never been more confident in saying something in my life. Like there is no chance he won't win the MVP.
I know.
For batting average, he's no one's going to catch him in home runs. No one's going to catch him in RBIs. He's about 20 RBIs over the next guy. He's 10 home runs over the next guy. No, I'm sorry. He's 15 home runs over the next guy in the American League.
Right.
Average, he's at 333, which is just still outstanding. Bobby Witt Jr. is at 346.
Yeah.
It's going to take a significant slump from Bobby Witt Jr. for him to win the Triple Crown. Right. It's a crazy year to Bobby Witt Jr. He deserves the Silver Slugger. But, do we need a Triple Crown on a Judge?
No.
Just to prove, we know how great he is. This is going to be his second consecutive MVP. Really, this should be his third MVP because he should have won it in his rookie year also. This is incredible. No words can really state what this season's meant. Observeman24 says, what is your ideal Yankee playoff rotation with the options behind being Cole, Rodon, Cortez, Stroman, and Schmidt? For me, I have Cole, Rodon, Schmidt, and Cortez. I would say this, Stace. I think we should change up I know his question. He gave us a 4-man rotation. They're not going to go 4 men in the postseason. Every team now goes 3 guys.
Right. I don't know at this point.
For me, ideal. I know he's been pitching better of late, but I don't think there's any way Cortez gets a playoff start. I know he's pitching better of late, but with the way his season went, you can't trust him in a playoff game.
Well, he's pitching better of late, but he's pitching better against bad teams.
Really bad, bad teams.
The ball was also smacked on Monday night. He was lucky his defense was really good behind him because it could have been 3 losses for the Yankees if some of those plays were not made. So,
honestly, my ideal rotation has Schmidt in it. It's Cole and Rodon. I know Rodon has struggled on salary alone. He has to be in the play. Like he has to get a playoff start. He has to. And honestly, too, on salary, but also on stuff, right? Like Rodon's got some of the whether you want to admit it or not, and whether you're proud of the way he's pitched this year or not, Rodon does have some of the best stuff in all of baseball when he's on. Right? You have to give him the opportunity to see if he's on. You have to. So I think he has to get a playoff start. Cole, obviously. My ideal rotation is Schmidt. What I think happens is Schmidt goes to the bullpen and Stroman gets the start.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm being distracted by the rundown doing weird things. We're going to move another question into segment 3 because we need to move into segment 3, in which we will answer 2 more questions for Fan Mail Friday, and we will preview the Cardinals series because the Cardinals are coming to Yankee Stadium. It's a very strange schedule. We're going to talk about that too. Next.
PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Unlike other apps, on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks. With as little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into $1,000. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's just guaranteed. Preseason football is over. You can pick more or less on 2024 season stats on PrizePicks. Like, will Patrick Mahomes throw for more or less than 4,300 yards? Or will CJ Stroud's sophomore season result in more or less than 4,150 yards? Enter your season picks before Week 1 kicks off on Thursday. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB. Get a $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code one word LOCKEDONMLB on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's just guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Remember that you can catch every pitch of the Yankees' hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Stacey, 2 more questions to lead us out, and then we will go over the matchups for the Yankees-Cardinals weekend series. Let's start with Mr. Mallory 94. He says, what does Volpe need to do to improve his consistency?
Hmm.
Well, the only thing consistent about him is his inconsistency. I would say that.
Right. Like, he's very
There is no consistency.
Right. And I don't know how to improve that either.
This feels like I keep saying this and people don't want to necessarily listen to it because people expect immediate results out of young players. And it's quite frustrating as a fan for me to see because no other sport do we expect this. And yet with baseball, we expect guys to come up and become 300 hitters instantly. It takes a while. Has Volpe been great? No. Do you want his on-base percentage to be better? Of course. He still is. I'd be willing to call him a top 2 fielding shortstop in the entire league. And also, Stacey, let's be real here. His average has gone up 40 points from last year. Like, that can't be understated. Like, he has improved. They were trotting him out there every single day last year, and he finished the year off hitting 209. He's hitting 250 now. Like, is it ideal? No. But he's not going to make a 209 jump to 300 in one offseason. That's not normal. He took a 40-point jump this offseason. That is good. If he does it again next year, he's a 290 hitter. Then are you all happy? Of course. So it's like you can't expect. There are players in the league, yes, Bobby Witt Jr., who hits 354 in his 3rd or 4th year in the league. That is not every single player. Guys take a little bit to develop their game. Not everybody's Derek Jeter, who's going to finish his career with the 4th most hits in the history of the sport. You know what I mean? You can't expect that out of these guys. Anthony Volpe is 22 years old. Most players are in the minors for another 3 or 4 years. Aaron Judge was starting his minor league career at 22 years old. And could you imagine if they sent Aaron Judge straight from college to the major leagues? He'd be out of the league in 2 years. Remember how much Aaron Judge struggled in his first year? You got to give it time sometimes. That's all I'll say.
Yep, I agree with that. And our last Fan Mail Friday question for the week from Robbie Garns 7732. Are the Yankees treating Garrick Cole starts as a rehab assignment? Okay, I'm probably exaggerating or being conspiratorial, but let's look at his past few starts. In at least 2 of the last 3 times he has taken the ball, Cole has had a punt lineup behind him and Trevino behind the dish, and LeGround out figuring prominently into the offense. This series was particularly disappointing because they ran these guys out there on a day when the Yankees should have been the most heavily favored because they had their ace on the hill while facing the worst pitcher in the league. In my humble opinion, the poor lineup and not Cole's miscues set the tone for them losing a series they should have won easily. Is this a result of a flawed player rotational system, or are the Yankees just not taking Cole's starts seriously? Thanks and love the show.
Robbie, God bless. They are. I think they're taking Cole's start seriously. Cole's been electric. He really has. I mean, he has improved himself so much going into the postseason. No team's going to want to face him. And I think with Cole going into the postseason with a fresh arm, he's going to be a huge weapon for the Yankees. Do I sit here and say, yes, they should be heavily favored? And I think the Yankees, it's classically what we were saying earlier. They play down to their competition. They do. They play worse against. They couldn't score in the White Sox series. It's not like the White Sox pitchers are mowing guys down all year. It's the same concept as the National Series. Yes, they went up against Patrick Corbin, who's one of the worst pitchers in all of baseball. They got beat by him. This has been happening all year to the Yankees. I don't think this is a Cole thing. I think it's a Yankees thing, and I don't think it was a punt lineup either. I don't think Boone's putting Trevino in there as a punt lineup for him.
No,
I think they believe in him, and I think they want to play Trevino 3 or 4 times a week, despite what they tell you.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree. I'm getting really sick and tired of hearing the defense excuse too, because neither of them have been good defensively. It's not about defense with the catchers at this point. It's about offense, and Wells gives you offense, and Trevino doesn't. That one I can't comprehend. That's a much more extensive, long argument that we can have on many more episodes to come, because I don't understand why Trevino's getting all the playtime he is. You're not preserving Wells' body. You're not. It makes no sense to me. But lo and behold, this is what we have. I don't know. I don't know why they play down to their competition. The only thing I'd say is look at it as a positive going into the postseason, that they also play up to their competition, and they tend to fare better against better teams.
Right. Quickly, Cardinals are coming to town. I mentioned just before the break that I find it odd that they go to Washington, come home for 3 games, and then go back out on the road to Texas and Chicago. I don't understand what kind of schedule that is, but okay. So it's Friday night, 7:05 start. Eric Fetty against Marcus Stroman. Game 2 is Saturday afternoon at 1:05. That's Kyle Gibson against Will Warren. He's making another start. And when I made the rundown, it was Miles Michaelis on Sunday against TBD. I don't know if that's been updated since I made the rundown earlier on Thursday, and that is a 1:35 start.
It'll be Nestor Cortez, who's now 8-10 with a 3.89.
I get to see Nestor Cortez because I'm going to Sunday's game. Okay, interesting.
Enjoy a nice 1:35 start for you. Mm-hmm. Michaelis has completely fallen off over the last couple of years. He's also 8-10, but with a 5.23. The Cardinals are beyond average. They are literally 67 and 67. Amazing. They are just the most average team ever.
Amazing. I mean, it's better than last year. They were terrible last year. For the Cardinals, they were terrible.
Oh, yeah. We made this point a million times, and it's going to stand, though. You have to win these games. Mm-hmm. Home field is going to mean so much in the postseason. You have to go out there and win these games, Stacey. So, I mean, yes, it's an important series. You can't take these series lightly, especially because this weekend, the Orioles go out there and get the Rockies. Right. Now, the Rockies tougher at home, but you still get the Rockies.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. And I'll let you all know on Monday how Sunday's game went for me. We'll see. Hopefully first nice game. Cool. Yeah, my first game in almost 2 years at this point. So that's going to be interesting. And hopefully I'll see some good stuff on Sunday. We'll see.
And go check out my SNY feature online with Dexter Henry. It was a really, really good feature. So go check it out.
One more time, you can catch every pitch of the Yankees hometown broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Thank you for making Locked On Yankees your first listen today. Now go check out the Locked On MLB podcast. Prepare for the Fall Classic with Sully, who has it all covered every single day. You can find the link to Locked On MLB in the description, so you don't need to search. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And coming up next week, recapping the series against the Cardinals, previewing both series against the Rangers in Texas and the Cubs in Wrigley. Will Rizzo come back? Probably. And we will start the week off with Miners Monday. So that'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll catch you guys next week.